Like, please share. When you share, you give someone else an opportunity to watch the broadcast. Please like, share, and let us know where you're watching us from. Niambie unatazama kutoka wapi. Mambo bado siasa hii wiki basi inaendelea kuchacha. Jana official results zimetokea pale za Juja. Inaonekana ya kwamba yule mgombeaji wa Jubilee amepigwa mara mbili by over, is it over 100% or 50%?
Is that like 100%?
Elfu tano against 12,000. Haya. Pale pia Bonchari Oimeke ameweza kupiga wainiaji wa Jubilee na pia UDA. Jubilee came second in the final results and UDA came third. So UDA ilikuja watatu na yule wa Jubilee akaja wa pili. Unajua wakati tulikuwa na provisional results UDA walikuwa wa pili. Jana alikuwa nasikia tukisema kwamba UDA was number 2, ODM was number 1. Lakini kitu ya maajabu ni kwamba watu ODM walikuwa wanasema eri UDA washinde kuliko Jubilee, na watu UDA wanasema eri ODM ishinde kuliko Jubilee, na ODM na Jubilee wako kwenye handshake. Anyway, kabla hatujatangaza kazi ya Mungu na kazi ya siasa, wacha tuende mbele za Mungu tuombe, alafu tukirudi na kuja kuwapa salamu zenu. Mighty Father, we come before you this morning. We worship you, glorify your name. Thank you for another opportunity to be alive this morning. We thank you for what you've given our hands to do. As we start off, be with us. You have this conversation, may you edify the fabric of this nation. Be with us as we finish. Glory and honor shall come back to your name. For every tackler who is watching us, may we meet them at their individual point of needs. In just mighty name, I pray, trusting and believing. Amen and amen. Aya, kama kawaida tunaanza na state of the nation. As usual, we start with state of the nation. State of the nation 0779-800-010, 0779-800-010, or 779-800-010, or 779-800-010. State of the nation or 779-800-010. Tunaanza na state of the nation or 779-800-010. Meka nambari pale, unaweza piga simu 779-800-010, 779-800-010 or 779-800-010. Lakini sasa tunasubiri simu, tuangalie kina nani wamamka. Albert Nyekundi ya Menya panana Betla sema iko ndani, asante. Josie Naisei Kogo sema good morning tata. Good morning to you Josie, good to see you. Ambassador mwenyewe Australia anasema Ambassador Alfred Surgeon all the way from Australia, the land down under Perth Australia. Good morning from Perth. Good morning to my brother Munga Olito continue. Good morning Tackle tuning in from Coventry, United Kingdom, enjoying the show. Thank you so much my brother, good to see you. Munga Olito continue all the way from Coventry, United Kingdom. Stephen Kiprotested gone. Good morning to you. Nauliza leo hakuna ya time. Oi, ya time mmekuliwa na by election. Haya, Wamui Mashara anasema good morning to you my sisters, good to see you. Auntie Gamaliel baba yao, good morning GB watching from Karen, asante sana. Jared Kimeto mheshimiwa wa Tapsago Iwar mwenye good morning GB, tuko live from Asla bedroom Sugoi. Asante sana mheshimiwa wa Tapsago Iwar Jared Kimeto, good to see you. Babake Willy, good morning to you Babake Willy. Boniface Cheriot watching from Nairobi, asante sana Boni. Amos Ramirexo Kipchumba asema good morning tuned in from Kipkabus. Abraham Maina Malel asema good morning hashtag the tackle. Johnson Koech tuned in from Litein, okay, Litein sio Iten. Asante sana watu wa Litein. Brian, good morning to Brian. Taita Hills watching live from Kisumu City. Rogers Kigen morning watching from Bomet. Asante sana Jeff Binyo. Good morning Baba Kewili. Good morning Aslan Nation. Haya, Rono Ian, good morning Tackle. Good morning to Jakama Senior. A morning panel watching from Maputo. Asante sana wa Maputo. Good to see you. All the guys from Maputo. We really appreciate the guys from also Zambia, Malawi, Ghana. So a lot of guys from Ghana as well and South Africa. Lady Tosha, Rose Liala. When somebody Lady Tosha, Rosie from Tarba. Good morning GB. Good morning to you Lady Tosha, Rosie. It's good to see you. Nakuona sana. Nasubiri simu yako ya State of the Nation. Rosie wa Tarbo mwenyewe. Lakini kama kuna simu tayari zimeanguka pale zikipita. Haya, State of the Nation or 779-800-010 or 779-800-010. Dilis Ibrahim good morning tuned in from Mogadishu, and thanks for the great show. Thank you so much Dis Ibrahim all the way from Mogadishu, Somalia. It's good to see you. Emmanuel Serem, good morning to you Emmanuel Serem. Amana mwisho wa Moses Niganet Kebene mheshimiwa wa Kapseret constituency. David Kamau, good morning tuned in kama kawaida from Diaspora. Asante sana to Diaspora. It's good to see you David Kamau. MC Aspirant Naira Makao, good morning Taklas Aslan Nation to Kochonjo, locked at Annex Eldoret. Asante sana to Eldoret. Alex Nderi, good morning GB tuned in from the ward Juja constituency. Watu wa Juja. Good morning to you Aaron Derito. Karoki wa Masi, good morning GB watching from Kayole. Sija kuona jana siku 2-3 sija kuona Karoki wa Masi, good to see you. Abdul Muaz, good morning from Wajia County. Asante sana. Watu wa Wajia bwana mlisonga na Rieng. Kidogo mlikuwa mmetoa governor, the next you have another governor. Siasa naye ndio mama, acha nirudi nikuwe pastor. Mambo ya siasa imenishinda. Joel Arama, Chairman Diaspora Edition, good morning to you Joel Arama. Link yenu inakuwa set up, tutaweza kuwapata haraka upesi in a very short while. James Mutinda, good morning Bito watching from Senti 10 Likoni Mombasa. Asante sana tu wa Mombasa. Naona pia nani Kipkalia nani? Kipkalia Arab Kosgei anasema good morning GB, tuned in from Rainbow Resort Jubilee. Iliisha kitambo sana. UDA is a strong upcoming party. Haya, asante sana watu wa Ruiru. It's good to see you. Naona Boniface Chirian anasema Susan Kiara muko area ama niliona nini? Susan Kiara hajafika. Ameshindwa kuchunga masana siku yake ya kwanza. Haya, Abid Kipkosiki anasema niko ndani, asante. Peace Mugash yuko Roisambu. Halekiro anasema good morning ndani, asante. Josia Kinuthia, good morning. It was good when you had one Jubilee insurance. Jubilee insurance. Okay. Peace Mugash anasema yuko ndani. Kiplimo. Okay, anasema good morning. I'm present. Say I to my friend Susan Kiara Muratha Asla Speaks. Asante sana. Keja Graphics, good morning. Good morning to you. Mulili David, good morning good people. Good morning to you. Dennis Korir, good morning all the way from Bomet County. David Maru, good morning. Tackle watching from Alberta, Canada. Hey, weather imeanza kuwa fiti pale Alberta, Canada. Watu walikuwa na freeze, walikuwa kwenye fridge. Isaka Bikens, good morning to you. Kenyanja Hebole, good morning. I'm present from Diani. Alfason Kiblagat, good morning from Nandi County. Asante sana tu Nandi County. Richard Kiringuri, good morning to him from Shuele. Hilary Tanga UDA follower, send me friend request. Ala. Haya, Donis Princess Maruiru, Kimbo, well tuned. Asante. Yator Victor watching from Bungoma. Jimmy Kakio, good morning. Tackle Brian Majimbo following kindly from Mombasa. Good show. Zakari Zaki, good morning watching from London, United Kingdom. Thank you. What is serious? Susan unasema tuko locked here jeshi la Ruta mashinani. Haya, amusheni mtu wenu wajue kuamka mapema. Stash Jebs anasema good morning tuned in. Benjamin Sugut Sumgong watching live from Sydney, Australia. Sailo Kinyiri, Atikoro Rosters well represented. Kiblimo, I'm tuned in from Nairobi West. Good morning to you. Say hi to my friend Susan Kiara Muratha. Graf Elvis niko ndani from Asia loud and clear. Eva Jeb Kemai Mheshimiwa Elgeyo Marakwet anasema good morning Gerald. Good morning to you Eva Jeb Kemai. My good friend Lady in Red. Jambo. Good to see you. Wewe ndio unachunga wakati hata kuliko wenyeji. How have you doing? How have you been?
Yes, I've been well. I thank God. Thank you for having me to your show. And you, how have you been?
Sina maneno. Kungangana tu.
Kungangana? Nilikuwa nikikuona.
Naniona. Ulikuwa umeenda by election gani? Bonchari?
Mimi nilikuwa Nairobi tu.
Ama ulikuwa Juja. Unajua saizi hakuna mtu sasa anataka kusema alikuwa Juja. Mimi si wa Juja, mimi wanafunzi. Unaona sasa?
Mimi wa Nairobi sio Kiambu.
Hakuna mtu sasa anataka kusemekana alikuwa Juja. Nobody.
But I am still a bona fide member of the Jubilee Party. And yes, we are having challenges. Yes, we are tulichoma bet zote tatu. Ndio kuna mtu alielekelea bet tatu zilichomeka zote. But it's okay, we are learning. So and we are happy for the winners. We congratulate them. You know, UDA is doing very good. PEP is doing very good. And we are happy for Moses Kuria. At the end of the day, he's a son of the soil. He's a son of the mountain.
Hey, now
he's making us very proud. And alitoka akafungua chama and see he's already making very great moves in Mount Kenya. I don't see that as a bad thing. I see that as a young leader who is carving out a space for himself. Na tunafurahia sana.
Okay. What do you think what's going on in Jubilee? What do you think is the problem with Jubilee?
I think Jubilee, we are approaching an election in 2022, hopefully, because there have been rumors about that. And people are now carving out to create spaces for themselves. That is why we are seeing Moses Kuria coming out very strongly with his candidate to popularize his party. As it should be, we are seeing UDA has who are members of Jubilee and left Jubilee have formed their own party, and I believe we're going to see very many more parties coming up, and it's okay because it's the democratic right of Kenyans to form into their own formations, how they feel best. They'll be represented in the coming election. Okay. So it's a very democratic process that is happening, and it's accepted. Utashangaa hata mimi naweza amka tufungue yetu ya daughters. Tuamua hata sisi tunataka chama.
Daughters of the Mountain Party.
Daughters of the Mountain Party. Why not? And we mobilize women. Tusonge na hii kitu.
So do you think there's a fault in do you think there's a fault in the way Jubilee is being run in its strategy?
I believe
because the last time you ulituambia by elections tunafagia.
Mimi sikusema hivyo je.
Ulisema
hivyo.
Wapi? Unajua hapa kuna records. Naweza kutolea hapa record file yako sasa. Naweza kutolea file yako sasa. What you think? Okay. Acha tusikie hapa watu wa State of the Nation. Good morning.
Good morning.
Jambo.
Mzuri Ditoko, Lady Tosha Rozi wa Tarbo.
Lady Tosha Rozi wa Tarbo, jambo.
Jambo sana, Tarbo tumeamuka poa.
Ulisema recruitment ya Bonjari ilisha.
Hata mimi nashangaa sasa future ya Matiang'i huko Kisii. Sijui itakuwa namna gani after kutumia hizo nguvu zote. na wakashindwa. Sasa mimi nashangaa kabisa. Alafu pia Juja, mimi nawapongeza kabisa wale walipiga kura, na at least wamefanya Moses Kuria kuwa proud. Na Moses Kuria akiwa proud, hata Hustler Nation
mnafurahi
proud. Kwa
lakini sasa Susan Wakapea amesema anataka kufanya kitu ambayo inaitwa appeal, anataka new election. Hajakubali, hajaconcede. Alisema kiliibiwa.
Hakuna kuibiwa hapo. Kama nani mwenyewe alikuwa hapo Chebukati wakihesabu. Sasa atatuambia nini? Awachane nayo na ashikane na ule mwingine. Aseme alishindwa, mambo mengine awachane nayo.
So unaona hii dunia ya kisiasa inaendaje sasa? What should you expect?
Hustler Nation tuko sawa.
Mko gangari?
Mimi naona penye tunaenda UDA iko na nguvu. Na 2022 mimi naambia watu waanze kuzoea, rais atakuwa ni Ruto. Hakuna mtu mwingine. Jubilee imeisha. Beti zote 3 zilichomeka. Watatuambia nini? Mimi sioni kitu hapo, hiyo iliisha. Alafu gazeti ya Taifa
imesema wanachomea rais.
Wanachoma picha, umewaona?
Inaona wamesema wanachomea rais picha.
Na kwa nini hawakuweka hapa
Atuoli ni kama agolive kidogo. Na Muratha.
Waweka tu hapo picha yake ndio tuendelee kucheka pia. Wa Starbo tuko sawa kidogo.
Asante sana, salimia watu wa Tarbo.
Asante
sana Lady Tosha kutoka Tarbo. Nashukuru Rosie. Lady Tosha kutoka Tarbo. Anafika pale umesikia amesema ile Jubilee imebaki ni insurance. Ala. So how do you think were the by-elections conducted? Because there have been complaints even from ODM that the state administered excessive power. Not even excessive, because there was no need for police power in a by-election. That's not a police. It was not a police exercise. Na kuna mtu alipiga simu wakati ile ilikuwa inafanya, tuko hapa Bonchari na kama kuna recruitment ya polisi. So how do you think was the by-elections were conducted?
First, I want to applaud a young lady called Nerea Okech, who really fought for the ODM candidate. And her video she was out there standing up for her candidate and saying we need to be very transparent in the process of counting these votes. Yes, I believe a lot of issues were happening in all the 3 by-elections that happened recently. But I believe everybody was using their own networks and resources to ensure their candidates were winning. Just because some of the issues highlighted were coming from maybe what the police were doing does not mean these other candidates and these other parties were not doing things behind the scene. This is what happens in any election or by-election.
But we saw people being arrested. We saw leaders being arrested and others were not being arrested. I saw Osoro was complaining that he was arrested in Bonchari.
Osoro is always complaining.
Okay.
At this point.
We saw also leaders being kicked out of
he intentionally victimizes himself.
You saw. I think you saw. There's a video of Moses Kuria and Ndindi Njoro and who else was it? Dennis Itumbe being kicked out of the Tallying Center.
And for a reason.
And the governor, Kiambu governor Nyoro, was there making noise. He was not being kicked out. In fact, there's a police who was standing. There's a police who was standing actually.
He was not interfering with any elections. He just shouted.
So Kina Kuria were actually touching things.
I'm not saying they were touching things, but I'm saying I would trust a police officer to do his work and know when to intervene and arrest when irregularities have happened. Because nikishout, nikipiga kelele na hakuna kitu ya illegal nafanya, kupiga tu kelele unless that is against the law.
So what crime did you think the other guys committed?
I will not think and I will not preempt Gerald because I was not there and I've not seen any charge sheets because if they were charged and arrested and taken, we would see they would post. Itumbi would post that he was charged.
So IBC did a press release that Governor Nyoro showed up with goons. Do you still doubt that? Do you still feel you was just shouting?
I believe when you say Governor Nyoro came up with goons,
it's IBC, it's not me.
IBC,
I'm reading a press release.
Then that is something they should IBC. Follow up. They are following up.
I'm just asking, what do you think? Because you are a political player. In your own opinion, do you think the by-elections were run in a fair way that even you were participating in it, you'd feel that if you're in either shoes, you'd feel comfortable with the by-elections? I believe they were carried out in a fair way because the winners were announced and nobody has an issue with all the winners that have been announced, right?
So regardless of how the process happened, if it was unfairly done, we would not be having all these winners being announced and people actually congratulate. And people have accepted defeat, except in Juja, where Susan Wakapi, and I would advise her to actually just admit that she has lost, and it's okay. But it's also her democratic right to pursue justice how she feels fit, if she feels aggrieved. So we cannot necessarily just deny her that right. But I believe that it was fair because we had all these winners being announced in due time, and people were standing up for the truth and the process, and they were very much involved in the process. In Juja, we had very young women, Akina Antonella Kauko, participating in such by-election. And she's a Ma lady, and she was in Juja. So it was a process.
She's not Ma, she's a Pokot.
Oh, she's a Pokot. No, she says now she's from the community of Ma. And she's watching, yes. She says she's the daughter of the Ma.
Ala?
Yes.
Hela kakuko umetuama. Umetaka West Pokot umeenda Masai. No, she comes from West Pokot.
She did a very good job. She did a very good job in Juja. And that is the process of fairness and freeness in the by-election that happened. That so many players could be allowed to participate in this by-election regardless of where you come from.
Okay.
In that spirit, hauoni venye hiyo ni BBI in its own sense.
Lakini sasa ODM najibulia mlishindo kusalimiana.
Anatoka anakuja tu Juja na anafanya a whole operation.
Na hakuna referendum. Imagine hakuna referendum. Na imagine hakuna referendum. So do you need a referendum ndio watu wakutane? Kama Nela anaweza toka maana aende Juja bila referendum. Namesema ndio bibi. Hoja tuliza wananchi. Do you think the by-elections that were held in Juja, Bonchari and Reward were held in a fair and free manner? Zuena anasema ya kwamba ilikuwa free and fair. Ndio maana kuna watu ambao wameweza kutangazwa. So I don't know what you think. If you feel that the elections were done in a free and fair way, the by-elections were done in a free and fair way, both in Bonchari, Juja and Juja na wapi? Ruri. Okay. Niliona anyway. Kimunya alisema ata resign kikiumana Ruri. Wana jana amekuja asema hii maneno ilikuwa siasa. Nini.
I feel a man is one, so if he said that he should resign, if not pia ni
you should talk to him. Tell him, this is your camera. This is your camera. Tell Kimunya to resign.
Hapana, siasa ni kuongea na to make all this.
Acha maneno ya siasa. No, he told us. He told us that he's going to resign if Jubilee loses in Ruri. Can you tell your majority leader to resign?
You either resign or you just claim as you have claimed ni siasa. So me I go with whatever you say. Kama ni siasa ni siasa.
So what then do we believe from Kimunya? Because if you can say things and then tomorrow he comes and tells us, no, ilikuwa siasa.
But si ilikuwa siasa. It was a political event that was happening. Siasa
ni mahali unaweza danganya.
Ni mahali unaweza danganya. Ni ukweli, ni mahali unaweza sema mimi nitaleta barabara sijui inakaa aje.
Sanitize.
And then you don't actualize.
Sanitize.
Siasa ni kama kukatia dem. Siasa ni kama kukatia dem Gerald. Ukuje hapo uniambie venye you will build all these things for me.
That is kat jambo. Good morning. State of the nation, good morning.
Good morning. This is Abdullahi Mohammed.
Abdullahi, jambo.
From Mandela County. Jambo sana brother, how are you?
Hey, pale majirani Wajia bana vipi?
Wajia is an epitome of how corrupt Kenya can be. In terms of not respecting its own laws. Now, on the issue of Wajia, when the Senate impeached him, and then on the assumption of Governor's Office Assumption Act, the lawyers are saying that they were supposed to wait for 10 days. But when the impeachment was done at around 9, and then you see a gazettement at around midnight, and then there is another one for the swearing in the morning. Now you ask yourself, is that how confused our laws are in this country? But that said, the issue of Juja. First of all, the issue of Juja brings out how delicate the Constitution of Kenya is when it comes to people implementing it, because they can choose what to implement it and what to implement, and they can choose what not to implement. Because when you talk of elections, it is the work of IEBC. Now, we have a presiding officer, we have a returning officer, we have clerks, we have people, and then security has been provided. When you see a governor shouting in the midst of a tallying center, one, it shows how mannerless we can get as a country, because IEBC is in charge. It did not announce the result. The process is continuing. Why are you bringing goons? Why are you bringing people to disrupt the process?
Okay.
Because if you are not satisfied with the process, then you can go to court. There is the High Court, there is the Court of Appeal, there is the Supreme Court. That's why we have laws.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think it is incumbent upon Kenyans. I will speak to Kenyans today and tell them that vote you have, that ID you have, you are not given so that you can be paid 500 by a politician so that you vote for them. No, it is an instrument of governance that is meant for you to make a choice so that your future and the future of your children can be determined. Because when you take 500 or 100 or 50 shillings and then you're complaining, let every Kenyan take responsibility. I like how the IEBC chairman and IEBC officials yesterday stood their ground and said, we will do what is right, which was whoever won the election is announced the winner.
Okay.
Now, that means Kenyans have the powers to choose who they want. They can protect. But when we become cowards or corrupt in terms of taking money, then our country is doomed and we're always going to complain.
Okay. Asante sana Abdullahi. Ulionaje by-elections? What do you think about the by-elections? Do you think it was fair, and what do you think is happening with the big parties as the underdogs rise?
Well, I think if we had let IEBC do their job, we would have said that it's fair. But when you involve security officers, because security for polling, I contested in 2017, and for you to be an IEBC, rather a polling station, there are security that are meant to make sure there is law and order. The work of the election processes, whether it is giving the ballot boxes, rather the ballot papers, or making sure that the person is assisted or they are voted correctly, is the role of IEBC officials and party agents.
Okay.
Now, when you bring security, either GSU or the military or the police, to disrupt processes, that is where the danger is. What I think is, one is Kenyans have shown that they can rebel by electing PEP, a very small party of Moses Kuria in Juja, and another one in Ruiru, in the backyard of the president, Uhuru Kenyatta's backyard. It shows that even the Kikuyus, or rather the Mount Kenya people, are tired of the hegemony and the oligarchs in Mount Kenya from the 60s.
Okay. So what do you foresee as we are towards 2022?
Well, what I think is we should respect first the rule of law. That is where everything began. If you go to Western countries that our politicians go for like, if you see a town, most European towns, there are no fences, there are no barbed wires, there are no electric fences. You should ask yourself, what is it that they have done? Because I've lived in Norway and I've lived in Holland. Just a just society that everyone respects the rule of law. If we do that, then Kenyans must know that they own this country because they pay the taxes, they employ these politicians, they pay their salaries. So Kenyans have forgotten that the country belongs to them. They are the majority, they pay the taxes, they are the ones who elect these people. Article 1 is very clear on the Constitution, as lawyers will have said. What we need is every Kenyan should take pride in himself and avoid taking 500. We should allow the Constitution. On 9th of August in 2022, there should be election. If the issue of BBI, as I said before in my articles, BBI cannot change the politics of bad manners. You cannot legislate feelings. You cannot legislate bad manners. It is incumbent upon us to make sure that we respect our laws, we respect our courts. I was seeing another cast from education saying that we should elect judges. And where on earth do people elect judges? In the US, do we elect judges? Because our constitution is driven mainly from South Africa, the United Kingdom, and America. In Amsterdam, or rather in Holland, the judicial system is even different from the other governance structures. So what we need is, as a society, let us strive to respect the rule of law. Let us respect each other. Otherwise, if we are not careful, we might recede into anarchy.
Okay.
I will plead with leaders, especially the president, do not change the constitution because you want to become a prime minister. If you have already put us in debt of over 8 trillion, in the last 6 trillion, in the last 10 years of your government, more than the 50 years we were, there is nothing much you can do as a prime minister. Let other young Kenyans take the mantle of leadership in this country. Let us build the future of our country. If we are not careful, we might go back to 2007.
As you leave, sir, let me ask you, there have been some serious protests from the court on alleged interference. I saw yesterday also the Senior Counsel's Bar did a statement. I saw also the Magistrates and Judges Association also made a statement on purported interference on the operations of judiciary. I don't know what's your feeling on that.
Well, I think, first of all, I still go back to the respect for the rule of law. I saw Tuju the other day making a lot of hullabaloo about the judges. Yet when he was pronounced bankrupt, he went back to court. Uhuru Kenyatta, who is now the president, when the election was nullified, the court announced that they should go back to election, and then he became the president. He was sworn in by judges in parliament. Everywhere we do, it's through our laws. We made these laws. Kenyans passed the 2010 constitution. So it does not belong to politicians. The courts must be respected. If you have issues with the 5 judgments, which I've read extensively, go to the Court of Appeal, go to the Supreme Court. If every decision made the courts is not making you happy, respect it. That is what citizens are supposed to do. You're not supposed to tarnish, abuse, create fake accounts. You know, the government state machinery is used to either bring cases that they were involved. That is not how our society is built. Libya has gone a very bad way. Syria has gone a very bad way. We see what's happening in DRC. Kenya is sitting on epitome of very delicate peace. We are not a very peaceful country. Kenya is calm. It's not peaceful. You've seen the anger. People have lost jobs. People are dying in our streets. You've seen the issue of the this injection or the one for COVID. So what we need to do is, from the president, who I think does not respect the courts because he has not appointed the 41 judges. I ask myself, President Uhuru Kenyatta or Uhuru Kenyatta the citizen, he does not pay anyone in this country. The judges are not at his behest. Those 41 judges are supposed to work for the people of Kenya. There are 48 million Kenyans. Yesterday or the day before, you saw how speedy the process of appointing Martha Koome was. Will you tell me that it's because she's from Central and he wants to bypass the Court of Appeal, take this matter to the Supreme Court, and then BBI, High Court order is curtailed or put on a stand until the case is heard, and then they continue with the BBI nonsense? No, the courts must be respected. Every Kenyan, that is the only hope we have. Because if we're not, then are we going to have grants like Somalia and start killing each other? So it is incumbent upon the president, the politicians, both parliament and the Senate. The only thing that is giving us, a fresh air to breathe was the courts, because the executive and the legislature are already one. We have seen what's happening in Supreme Court. Gazettes are given at midnight. We have seen what happened. So what we need as a country is to be very careful, because Kenyans are tired, and they have seen that in Juja. I was told there are close to 1,000 people to defend that seat because they wanted to bring chaos, but those people were smart. They have not left any chance for this guy. So what we need to do as a country is, Mr. Uhuru Kenyatta, your term will end on 8th of August. Please leave a peaceful country. Those in politics, if you don't want to come back, leave us in peace. Kenya belongs to us, the taxpayers, not the politicians.
Okay. Asante sana Abdullah. Nashukuru sana kwa na siku njema. Thank you so much for your contributions. We really appreciate. Asante sana na kuna watu. Let me go to Diaspora nisikie naona chairman tayari yuko ndani. Tuambie naona kuna simu ambayo tumeweza kupoteza sijui. Okay. Alright, wacha tuende pale tusikie chairman anasemaje. Chairman Joel Rama, jambo.
Hey, jambo bwana Jero.
Good to see you. Good morning. Oh, it's good evening there.
Good evening.
How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing okay. How are you?
Fine, thank you, sir.
I see you have a very awesome young lady over there. Mwambie nimependa hairstyle yake, ni poa sana.
Thank you so much.
Tuma wave.
Nitasika approval ya finance minister ndiye nitatuma. Otherwise nitafungiwa mlango bwana. So first of all, Gerald, Abdullah, his name is Abdullah?
Yes, Abdullah from Mandera.
Yeah, these are the leaders I'm looking for, man. This young man is very articulate. He knows his stuff. I just wanted to slightly correct him on one thing. In the US, when it comes to what we call the state elections, we actually do have judges. We elect our judges on the ballot. The judges who are appointed are the federal judges. So those are wale wanadili na mambo ya federal government na federal cases. But local judges, we actually elect them. So that is a difference. But not all judges are elected. So that's the only aspect. But everything else, I agree with him. Mambo ya kupigia watu kura in Kenya, we are not in that level yet. We will be in much trouble even now. Like the case you're mentioning about the Wajir impeachment, and then all of a sudden court inasimamisha. I'm like, well, the process was okay. The MCS did their job. The Senate did their job. Why are you suspending the verdict of the people? This is the voices of the people doing this. And I think this is where the judiciary gets in trouble, because even when the people have spoken, you still want to go in and start interfering. Now, on the other hand, every now and then, wanapata raw and they do the right thing. And everybody, majority of the people, I don't want to say everybody, majority of the people are okay and are satisfied. A case in point is their ruling on the BBI matter. We have spent almost a year and a half now talking about BBI. But at the end of the day, the judges decided this was not the right thing, and I completely agree with their ruling. Thanks to our friend Amika's Ojuang. Did you know he contributed something to that?
Yes. He had a course in court actually. Juang had a course in court. So atakuja tuambie kesho nini alikuwa ameweza kupeleka pale kotini.
Yeah, so I saw his filing. He posted some of his filing, and it was really good. So these are this is the back and forth now. Coming down to the election, Gerald, there is one thing that is really striking for me. And like Abdullah, at least he kind of mentioned a little bit, but he didn't go further to what I'm thinking. Gerald, we need to stop, how can I put it, hero worshipping or messianic sort of complex. Ati, ODM wameshinda in Bonchari, that means Raila won. No. The people of Bonchari constituency won because they went and voted. And they elected the person they believed in. Okay. Whether he's in ODM or UDA, whatever, but they elected their person. The same case in Juja and the ward in, I've forgot the name, Ruiru. Was it Ruiru? Yes.
Ruri in
Ruri, yeah. So these are the people. Now, whatever else, Gerald, tukitoka hiyo siasa ya ati, tunapiga kura sababu ya mtu mmoja huko juu, ndio kila mtu anapiga kura ati suti. Can we start electing our leaders based on their policies, based on what they have said they can do for the people, and based on how we know them? What have they done in the community? And we elect them. Gerald, if we come to that level, then we'll be saying the elections are free and fair. Okay. Now, these elections were, to a larger extent, free and fair. The only problem the police, to me, were just intimidation. And then the other thing, we need to get Gerald, I keep on stressing this so much. Watu wanakuja kupiga makelele kwa polling station. Those people should be in jail. And I think, Gerald, the next time you bring any of these members of parliament or senators on this, on the tackle, you need to ask them one question. Can you go to parliament and enact a law specifically for election violence? Okay. So that these people can be dealt with legally. If you are not an agent, and even if when you are an agent, there is a decorum and process you are supposed to follow to dispute any counting or anything else. Hii mambo ya kwenda kupiga kelele hapa nini, a whole governor jameni. Sasa unaenda kupigana kwa polling station for what? People decided who they want to elect as the MP, and then of course it's only for a few months anyway. Why are you making so much noise? Si ati mtu anaenda ati akichaguliwa leo atakuwa hapo for 4 years. We are running to election next year. Okay. In less than a year. So to me, these are the things that really I want us to get to a place whereby, Gerald, you go and vote. unarudi nyumbani kwako, unakaa, unaangalia either TV ama unafungulia radio, KBC or whatever station you want to listen to. You listen to the election tallying and you get the updates for your area. And when it's done, if your person that you supported wins, you jump up and down, you make noise, you go outside, celebrate with your neighbors. Ukishindwa, ita watu weka murusika hapo mkunywe, mupunguze machozi kidogo. Hiyo story imeisha hapo. And we keep on. Kesho yake tunaingia shamba tunalima na mambo inaendelea. Wale wanachuna chai.
Maisha yanasonga.
Maisha iendelee bwana. And then we put these people in office and tell them, do your job. Do the job the people elected you to do. Go and speak on behalf of the people. MCAZ mambo ya kukuja kuhonga hapa na milioni 2, you are going to pay it back anyway. It needs to stop. We need to do the work of the people. Kenya is a rich country. We waste a lot of money. Sasa unaona, yani Gerald, let me ask you a question. These MPs ndio ujue kabisa, I keep on saying every time, tunafaa kuwachapa viboko wote. How can these people go and sit and enact a law within not even a month to exempt Japanese workers and whatever business people from paying taxes in the country? Yani, sasa sisi wengine, sasa hata mimi nitaenda nibadilisha jina yangu nijiite sijui wanaitwa nini ole.
Chingchong.
Chingchong hiyo ni China. Watu wa nini wanajiita majina tofauti kidogo. I need to call myself a Japanese name. Shikamoto something and then
Shikavaya.
You know, I get a tax exempt. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Tunakuita Yakamoto.
Watu wanakufa na COVID. Madawa mmefungia, ARVs mmefungia kwa port huko Mombasa. Things were given for free.
Yes.
Na mnataka kulipisha tax. Dawa za kuja kusaidia wananchi. Alafu mtu anakuja hapa mnamwambia tax free. I understand businesses do get tax breaks. That one I understand. To give a business tax break for a certain period of time so that they can build up their business.
Why are we not doing that for Kenyans? Why is it a preservation for or a preserve for the Japanese?
Exactly, Gerald, that's what I'm saying. If you are coming to do a business or you are starting your own business, the government should give you that tax exemption for a certain period of time so that you build up your, because majority of the business to survive.
Yes.
Averagely, lazima huwa in operation for more than at least 5 years and more. Ukifika year 5 ndio unaanza ku gain some profits. So give people that breathing space. Lakini sasa ukiambia mtu hata mshahara, huyu mtu anatumia barabara zetu, everything they using all our facilities, amenities and everything else, and they're not paying taxes. So who is going to pay the taxes for these people to use the roads? As Kenyans. Unapigwa tax ukienda kununua chumvi, badala ya kununua shilingi 5 unanunua shilingi 7. 2 shillings are going to the to the central government. Alafu county nayo inakuja hapo juu inakuambia sasa sina sisi tumeongeza 50 cents yetu hapo. So unanunua chumvi 750 instead of 5 shilling. Because watu sasa ona kama huyo governor wa Jiri. How can someone be a governor and the things that were being said, what he was doing and his wife? And I'm like, what kind of government is this? And this guy has been in office for this long. Sasa Gerald, tunashida lakini I am proud of Kenyans where we are going. We need to start voting on issues and your capabilities. Kama ni Gerald, tuseme leo Gerald tunamweka akuwe governor wa Uasin Gishu.
Tumenipea nikuwe rais. Tumenipea nikuwe rais. Hata mimi ni mtoto wa watu.
Hata wewe unaweza kuwa rais bwana. Mimi hiyo sikatai. I mean Gerald, we need to get to that level whereby you can stand up and speak your policies and give your vision and we hold you accountable.
Okay.
Kwa sababu sasa saa hizi 10 years imeisha. I wish we could be speaking about the promised stadiums, the promised laptops, the dams ambazo hazikuchimbwa zitaenda zikachimbwa watu wakanunua towers na vijiko ya kukula mchele badala ya kuchimba nini dam. All these things, this is what we should be talking about. But what are we talking about? Persons, people. Why?
Personality politics. Okay.
Personalities. For what? Yes, personality is a good component. But what are your policies? What are you planning to do for our people? What is your philosophy of governance? So to me, I'm looking to those opportunities where even when the official campaign kicks off for elections, which, okay, I say official because we have been in campaign mode all through. But when the official campaign kicks off, I wish we can get these politicians and ask these specific questions. Tell us your philosophy of governance. What are you going to achieve? How can we measure your success when you get elected? Ndio mtu asifike akuja atuambie ati unajua tulisema hii sikusema chochote lakini nimeachieve. No. We need to have a measurable yardstick of what you're doing.
Okay.
And that's how we can make our country better.
Right, watu wako wapi leo? Wamelala kina Masi wamelala.
Masi ni kama amelala hata sijui ameenda wapi.
Kina Alex walienda wapi na RK? Is he okay? I hope well. Monda?
Monda hata yes, RK I need to reach out to him again.
Okay.
Alikuwa busy na kazi. So, acha nione kama nitapata.
Na mtu wa plantation sang. Mtu wa plantation vipi?
Mtu ya plantation sijui alienda wapi.
Okay.
Nafaa kumtafuta. Yeah.
Sawa, tafuta wazoja turudi kwa studio upande huu. Meanwhile tafuta wangwana amwisha hao alafu tuweze kuwa na mazungumzo pamoja. Wacha turudi hapa Shikamoto.
Shikamoto is a name from Japan.
Zuena.
Okay.
So we love to bleach and baptize ourselves to get tax exemptions. Lakini wa Kenya waende kwa referendum.
I think the tax issue in Kenya is very wanting. Even me, I'm very saddened by
because you're saying for 7 years, for young people to get 7 years break,
yes.
We need to do a BBI. But for Japanese, it only is a bill that is just 1 day and it's passed and they're exempted from taxes. You are a Kenyan. Apart from the politics of the day, you are a Kenyan. How does that make you feel?
It doesn't make me feel nice. I am honest enough to admit that. And I'm honest enough to want to know why the government would take this direction and why Japan. And is there something we are getting in return? And if so, what is it and at what costs? I believe these are the questions we should be asking.
Can you go to Japan and operate without paying taxes?
I don't think so. No. So I believe the government should actually address these questions and concerns because it doesn't look very good on their end. Okay. And they need to explain these processes of why it gets to a point where they can offer such offers to a country like Japan, because there must be a reason that this is happening, and we need to understand what we are getting out of Japan by giving this. Okay. So if that is not clear to Kenyans, then it will cause an outrage as it is doing right now. And we may not understand where our government is coming from. And I believe that is something that our government needs to work on, communicating with its people about all these things that are happening. Before we get it from the media, can we be communicated effectively? This is actually happening and why. We're having conversation with Japan because of this, and this is what we are getting in return. Not necessarily give us all the details of the deal, but enough for us to try and understand how was this decision arrived at.
Now, and let me ask you, Zuena, me and you, we are young people, and I think from all all the politicians, let's wipe them out. Me and you need this country more than everybody else. Yes. Do you think the government is sincere, even as you push, because you are part of those, you're one of those selling the BBI agenda?
I don't hate the BBI, I support BBI.
Okay, you support and sell.
Yes.
You cannot support without selling. I'm saying you sell, you're selling. You're among the sellers.
Like, hey, you've given me
yes, you sell and you support it. Yes. Now, even as you talk about policy sincerity, do you think if the government cannot practice, because then clearly it's showing us that actually these things that they're promising us, they can do it. But it's only that they think it can only come with a certain cost. And the cost should be maybe the issues of leadership, executive and all these things. Let me ask you, do you feel there is a policy sincerity in government? Even as you push this document, do you think there's some level of sincerity that it will be implemented, that it will work as you envision? Do you think the government is being sincere? Because then it has the opportunity to write off lab loans right now, clearly. That's what it's telling us. It has the capability to give us tax breaks, even for 15 years or 100 years. It has that ability without involving any referendum or elections. It has the ability to ensure that young people who are starting business probably get incentives from government. It has that ability. Do you think there's sincerity in all these ulabalu around a document that will be a magical document?
I think there's sincerity in the sense that they want all Kenyans to be involved in this decision making. Because why are they not involving Kenyans on this? Let me answer. Okay. You've asked me. Let me answer. Yeah? You've asked if there's sincerity, and I'm saying I believe there is. In this sense, that let this be a decision that everybody is involved in, in a referendum. Let people actually vote on this. Do you know why? Let this not be another decision that government is making, and then we're looking at them like, wait a minute, how did you come about? Did you even ask us? So moving forward, the government is ensuring that such critical decision-making processes are involving every Kenyan, and you can only involve all the Kenyans through a vote. So let Kenyans vote for this thing. If they don't want it, let them vote no.
So where did you vote yesterday?
And
for Japan?
And you know, so many people, as you're saying, from your point of view, many people don't support BBI, Sindio.
I don't know. I'm not saying anybody, but I just said you. I said I asked about sincerity. I didn't talk. I'm not talking about those who are not supporting.
I want my voice to be heard. Through my vote, I want to go to the ballot and say yes. And I want the people who do not support BBI to have the same right to actually go to the ballot and say no and vote for this thing no.
Okay.
And
so why partisan? Why we not having a referendum for also critical? This is your taxes involved. For a Japanese to come, like Arama is saying, for you to come and operate here, you need to pay bills. You need to use a road. You need to use amenities. The question is,
do you always ask them to do a rebate?
Arama, your life, please mute your mic. All right, so let me ask you, we are making a decision that involves Kenyans, Kenyan taxes.
Okay.
Where did you vote for Japan yesterday?
Are you asking
where did you cast your vote?
Me?
Yes.
I did not cast my vote.
Sometimes I don't.
I did not cast my vote because this is a decision that government is empowered by the constitution to decide on.
Why is it not empowered to decide then on the help and the tax?
It is something that it can come up with, and that is why I've said until we understand what the deal between Kenya and Japan is.
Yes, that's okay.
I may not necessarily have the right to say I deserved a right to vote on this issue, because we do not know what Kenya is getting in return from Japan. So unless all the details are put out in the open, then now I can have a lot of say in this issue, because there is no way these guys were given this for nothing, and it was just free. Kenya just sat down, our government just sat down and decided,
so if Kenyans are given tax breaks, so if Kenyans are given tax breaks, they're getting it for free. If Kenyans are given tax breaks, they're getting it for free.
They're not getting it for free.
What are you trying to say about Kenyans?
You're being given a time frame to panga yourself as a young person.
So why are they not being given? Why do you need a referendum for that?
Because
and not for this decision.
Because this is an issue.
This is the same thing. Tax exemption.
It is not the same thing. Okay. It is an issue that is inside a lot of issues that Kenyans need to decide on.
Give us a difference. Can you break down the difference?
There's a 7-year tax, right? There's the executive position coming in. There's the women gains that are coming in. So it's a document that has all these aspects. So what you're doing, Gerard, you're removing one thing. And you want me to
what I'm saying is, this is what I'm saying.
And
this is what I'm
have
saying.
A document that has all these issues that Kenyans need to decide on.
This is what I'm saying. Okay, this is what I'm saying. That giving an help loan, writing off an help loan, you need to use ZUENA as a Minister of Education, having good lunch one afternoon, having some chicken wings,
I don't know,
getting up when you're happy. I'm just giving you an example. Coming out and saying from today onwards, the same way we've written off sugar debts from companies, from government that have been on billions of money. We wrote off Webuye debts in billions of money, in tunes of billions that are being owed to government. Just this text you coming up in the afternoon saying, okay, the guys who are paying help from today onwards, the government is going to pay it for you.
Let me ask you, Gerard, if they do that, so you're saying we don't need a referendum for this and all other issues, or they are supposed
what
to
I'm
do
saying
this?
Is what I'm saying.
In your opinion,
this is what I'm saying in short.
This
is what I'm saying
we are giving away with the help loans, and then on another issue for executive position, can it also now wake up and say we are creating this position?
This is what I'm saying. On the issues, and the Constitution is very clear. I don't know if you've read the Constitution.
I have read the Constitution.
It's very clear on what goes into a referendum and what doesn't. What you're talking about that touches the structure of government goes into a constitution. The other things that we're talking about are bill issues. This is a bill that ZUENA can represent in parliament, wherever it is, and it can get approved. Having an help loan is not a referendum issue. Having a tax exemption, the same way you were saying it being happening with the Japanese, is not a referendum issue. It is a policy decision. So my question is, and my issue is, if we are very keen and very sincere on the future of young people like you, if the government is very sincere, I don't ask about the sincerity. I'm not asking about the political question in it. The sincerity in it. If we are very sincere about our young people, why do we need to take them into a referendum to give them tax breaks? Why can't we say, okay, we are government of the day, and this is what we are saying. We have an intention to ensure that every young person who starts business, I'm doing a business, this is a business, I'm running a business. They come and say, okay, because you're running a business, this is a production house you're running, we are going to give you a tax exemption. Why do you have to take through a referendum and not take a Japanese through the same process?
Because a Japanese is not a Kenyan citizen. But on another issue, I would believe this. This is the scenario I picture when I see government not taking this as a policy issue and more of a referendum issue. Because as we always say, the future belongs to the young people. So we want these young people to decide upon themselves. Are you ready for this future we keep saying is yours? Because we are the leaders of tomorrow. For us to allow for a 7-year tax exemption. Because you are the guys who are going to deal with an economy. We are the people who are going to deal with an economy that has allowed people to take a 7-year tax break.
But this is the same economy the Chinese are operating in.
Let us make that decision.
Are the Japanese going to come with their own economy?
Yeah.
Are the Japanese going to come with their own economy? Are we going to have now the Japanese economy in Kenya? The same economy. Be sincere, ZUENA. We are operating on the same economy. The taxes that we're talking about in the same country. The exemptions we're talking about are in the same country. What is the difference? Why do you find the imbalance? Why do you find it sincere for the Japanese to have tax breaks and not you as a Kenyan, as a young person?
Like I've said, Gerald, I do not understand what we are getting out of this Japanese-Kenya deal. You want me to comment on a document I have not seen? I don't know what Kenya is getting. I don't know what we are getting in return. If the government
I now
would
agree
be
the
clear
youth are
of
not
that,
ready for the future.
I
now agree.
I need to if I cannot understand what we are getting in return for me to fully comment on this.
But you're okay with young people not getting tax breaks until they get a referendum?
No, I'm okay being part of the decision making process of that on voting of it. I'm okay going to the ballot and voting on it.
Okay.
So that in future, after 7 years, I can be tasked with the responsibility. But you guys went and voted yes. So, and if you don't support it, vote no. Say, I don't want to be given a 7-year tax break because of this and this and this. And you can be held accountable of that decision 7 years down the line.
Okay. Alright. Acha tuangalie bunge la mwenye nchi. Acha nifungue bunge kidogo tusikie wananchi wanasemaje. Bunge la mwenye nchi wa 779-800-010 au 779-800-010 au 779-800-010. Bunge la mwenye nchi iko wazi. Nambari ni 779-800-010 kama kawaida. Tusikie ZUENA amesema hii mambo ingine yenu twende referendum. Lakini wa Japanese kidogo wacha wakuja na uchumi wao alafu tuendeleze shughuli. Haya. Natuambia kunaendaje. Amesema vijana wako tayari kwa uongozi ambao unakuja ama umesema the youth are the future or not the future?
No, we are the future. Okay. The young people are the future. Young people are leading parties. Moses Kuria is we can consider him as one of our young.
He's 50 years.
He's 50 years. Okay, he's not a young person, but he's a youthful leader. That's what they're called.
Okay.
And we are having young people coming up, and even the deputy president, he's considered himself as a youthful leader.
Ata baba. Haya. Jambo, good morning.
Youthful.
Hello.
Bunge la mwenye nchi.
Yeah, my name is Aaron.
Yes, Aaron.
Calling from Nairobi.
Nakusikia dadi, niambie.
Sasa hii issue ya kwanza ya Japan. Hiyo ni ujinga kabisa. You cannot give Japanese ati kwani kati ya Japan na Kenya. Priority ni gani?
Okay.
And then what are we getting out of this tax? Hiyo ndio communication ingekuja ya kwanza ndio tujue maybe we are getting something out of it.
Ndio ZUENA amesema serikali tuambie, lakini kwa serikali ZUENA
atatuulizia huko. Ingekuja ya kwanza. So that's because hizi maswali kujua nini why are we giving them tax free na sisi wa Kenya hatupati. Sasa kuna corona Kenya. Wakenya wengi wanalala njaa. Lakini unapewa Chinese unasema Chinese
wanaitwa Japanese
tax. These Japanese why? What are the reasons? You see, this is the problem. Na hiyo ndio shida hii Kenya. Uongozi hii Kenya ndio nimesema ndio kuna shida. There is no communication. Ndio hii ingine sasa by elections Kenyans are communicating. They are sending a message to Uhuru Kenyatta that he is failing us. If Uhuru cannot win an MCA seat in his home ground, these guys should pack and go, bana.
Okay.
Right time he just pack things and go. Na acha Ruto amalize hii term yake.
Tena.
Because yes, how can a president with all full of government machinery lose a seat in his backyard? With the military intelligence, huyu jamaa anafaa kufuta hao watu wote. The needs, the government machinery wote waende nyumbani because he's failing him.
Okay, asante. Wasikia wananchi
Yes.
Jambo, good morning. Bunge la mwenye nchi.
Good morning to you, Gerard. Stephen hapa.
Okay, mambo Steve.
Salama sana.
Niambie dadi.
Gerard, number one, I don't really understand how our country can give other people tax invasion, lakini sasa ikifika ni Kenyans, we must pass the BBI. Number one, understand that all these things that tax invasion for 7 years, those are just icing. Because the only matters that need to go to the referendum, it is the expanded executive. It is a matter additional constituencies. It is a matter where the executive now wants to control the judiciary through the ombudsman. But all other things are policy matters, things that can go through the parliament. Our youth can work without paying tax for 7 years. We can get the additional money to the counties. Those are matters just policy.
Okay.
What is happening here, it is that wanatumia these other things, wanatumia hizi vitu kuziweka pale kwa BBI kama icing ndio zitu attract tuende to expand the executive. We allow the executive to control the judiciary. We allow the additional constituencies. Yet this one is a burden to us.
Okay.
When the lady on your panel says that we need to be involved directly on the matters taxes, what does she mean? Does she mean that we don't need to be involved directly when the Japanese are being given tax invasion in this country? So for Kenyans, we need to be involved through a referendum, which is number one, costly. Number two, does it mean that when young people are not given taxes, that our revenues are going high? In fact, most of youth, they don't have a job. They don't even have that business.
Okay.
So where will they pay those taxes from? Okay. So whether they are given tax holiday or not, they even don't have that business to pay that tax.
Okay, so you want the issues on taxes and all that to be removed from BBI and passed in Parliament. Then we go to a referendum for the executive.
Those things can be passed through the Parliament. We don't need the expanded executive.
Okay.
We don't need to go to the referendum for county to be added more money. They can give county even 50, even 60 if they want.
Okay. Asante sana ndugu yangu. Asante sana kwa kupiga kwa bunge na usiondoke. Endelea kuwa kwenye program tu ili tuweze kuzungumza pamoja. Bunge la Mwananchi, bunge la Mwananchi 779-800-10 au 779-800-10. Bunge la Mwananchi kwa wazi. Unaweza piga simu uchangie utuambie mawazo yako ni gani. Haya, kabla tukisubiri simu, acha tukimbie pale sokoni tuangalie kidogo mambo ya sokoni pale. Swift Airtime inakupa nafasi ya kuweza kununua airtime. You can buy airtime through paybill number 325325. Your number is your personal number, is your business number. Kimbia pale 325, enda paybill number on your M-Pesa, enda paybill on your M-Pesa pale kwa business number weka 325325. Kwa account number weka nambari yako ya simu. Kama nambari yako ni kama hii yangu ya studio, unaenda pale weka 325325, alafu unaweka pale account number ni 779-800-10. Alafu unaweza kununua airtime yako, unapata discount ya 5% for every purchase ambao unaifanya kupitia Swift Airtime 325. Unaweza nunua pia kama uko na fuliza, kama una sufficient balance on your M-Pesa, unaweza nunua pia airtime. Itaji kama uko na balance, unaweza fuliza pia with the same amount. Alafu pia kuna watu ambao wanaitwa Maridadi Motors. Maridadi Motors inakupa nafasi ya kuweza kuagiza gari yako kwa bei nafuu zaidi. When you import with Maridadi Motors, you get the best deal. You get to save up to 300,000 Kenyan shillings. You don't get such a deal anywhere else. Uweze pata deal nyingine kama hiyo mahali pengine. Maridadi Motors gives an opportunity to import direct import from Japan, from Singapore. At least now they are exempted from taxes. Isn't the Lord good? Now you're going to sell cars. Good morning, bunge la Mwananchi.
Good morning.
Habari ya leo?
Mzuri sana Bicho.
Naongea na nani?
Naitwa Mr. To.
Yes, Mr. To, niambie.
Now, I think I've been following your program.
Yes, sir.
And I'm sorry to say this. That we have people in this country. That we have people in this country masquerading as leaders. But in the actual sense, they are not.
Okay.
They are just so much centered in their interests at the expense of the Kenyan population.
Okay.
Now, you want to tell me, Gerald, that we can allow Japanese tax breaks through Parliament.
Okay.
I don't know if you listened to the news today. These guys from HELP, they are saying that they didn't get enough allocation, and therefore most of our students would not be able to get HELP loan.
Okay.
And that is a policy issue. I believe that is something which can be sorted from our government. HELP is requiring almost about 12 billion to be able to give to our students. But right now, we are even ready and willing to use 14 billion for a useless referendum to just have some few seats for a few individuals.
Okay.
I think it's so absurd to say the least. I think as young people, we really need to be serious.
Okay.
You know, this is our country, Gerard.
Hey.
And we need to stand on the right side and be counted for the sake of our country.
Okay, bro.
We cannot allow our country to be run down by these old and some of our young people. I think we need courage.
Okay.
We need to speak out as young people.
Asante gang. Thank you so much for...
I've got much to say, but okay.
Asante sana ndugu yangu. All right. Jambo, good morning. Mbuga la mwenye nchi.
Good morning, Gerald.
How are you, sir?
Very well. Dennis Ndombe here.
Dennis, jambo.
Salama sana. Naona hapo umengangana na Zuena kweli.
Kwa hapa. Ameniambia twende Japan. Rumba Japani, twende kama Stella.
Zuena naona amekunyisha dawa na serikali.
Hi, Dad. How are you?
Na lazima tumu-immunize.
Amekusalimia kwanza.
I'm very fine. How are you doing? Unataka kunisanitize? Nasikia you want to sanitize me.
Mwambie hapa sanitize.
Sanitization. Where you need to be immunized.
You need to be immunized. Not sanitization.
Immunized against modhamakitization.
No, thank you, but
Lakini,
thank you.
Gerald,
yes,
I think if you allow me to comment on the question of taxation.
Please, go ahead.
I think our object of anger cannot be our development partners. We have to know that we have worked with Japan for a very long time as a friend of Kenya. And the nation and the people, yeah, and they are one of the most moral partners that we have had as a nation. Na pia tuna drive magari zao, we have benefited. And so I think, we have. If you audit development partners, by the way, you will realize that Japan is one of the most moral development partners. Why am I saying moral?
Yes.
It's because they don't have certain clawbacks and inefficiencies like the likes of China and perhaps the Western world. That's number one. Number two, I think it's important for us to ask questions so that we can get to understand and refuse to objectify Japan as the object of anger and focus on our government and understand the matter.
Tukasirikia serikali yetu.
Sorry?
Kama tunakasirikia tukasirikia serikali yetu.
Tukasirikia serikali yetu, lakini kwanza tuelewe, is this a tax incentive touching on foreign direct investment? Is this a tax treaty at the end of the day? You understand? What kind of physical and economic risk are we getting into? How are we benefiting? I think we need to ask that. But Gerald, the reason why Kenyans are frustrated is because our local investors are incapable of matching with our international investors. So, for example, when you give tax breaks, incentives, and treaties to international investors who are coming to build roads and bridges and whatever it is in the country, while the local investor is paying double taxes and whatever through the nose,
to cushion
then
the other
our investors are incapable of rising to a level where they can compete, even in terms of tenders and whatever it is that there is. So the playing ground is unfair. That's number one. Number two is that the government is holding us captive and hostage, telling us that we have to pass some defective documents for them to be able to give us the same tax benefits that they're giving to the development partners at the end of the day. And also, you're giving tax breaks to youth who have no access to capital. You understand?
Yes.
I'm a youth, I want a capital acquisition, biashara. Who are you going to be taxing at the end of the day? The tax break is for ghost organizations or those guys who can get KEMSA tenders from wealthy families. Which youth is capable of starting any business hata ya kuuza peremende njiani, ndugu yangu? Hakuna pesa bwana. So they have to make sure that a tax holiday is requisite to access of capital. You understand? Hizi maprogram mingi walikuwa wameleta huku na kule zilikufa you know, they had brought several things that would have accessed vijana, capital for business at the end of the day. And it doesn't even have to be loans. It can be grants that we make sure that the bottom-up economy that William Ruto is speaking up about functions and works for this government and this nation. That is number one. So, you know, so we have to audit the entire tax regime of our country. That's number one. But let us not aggrieve and fight our development partners. We need them at the end of the day. Let me move to the next point, which is BBI.
Yes.
Gerald, I feel that BBI is now becoming a smokescreen. You need to ask yourself, how foolish and incompetent is this government to make consistent blunders about BBI without realizing? Unaona kama hiyo ni possible kweli? The reason is I'm saying that is because, and I think that we need to stop focusing on BBI now, because BBI is a smokescreen, and we need to focus on the critical issues that have also brought BBI up as a symptom of what this system is. Number one, we need to discuss about presidential powers, privileges, abuses, and the fact that that office has been manipulated, captured, and abused. And put the sole responsibility of bad manners to the president. That's number one. You understand? We need to know that Kenya in itself has been mismanaged, and we need to focus on that aspect alone. Number two, 98% of BBI does not need the referendum. What needs referendum is the change of the structure of government. The fact that parliament can no longer oversight executive, and several other things that are there. So they are trying to establish a system of self-preservation and a system that nobody can ask them questions. What we need to do is focus on the mismanagement of this country and the criminal gangs that are running this country. BBI is a smokescreen to keep us busy about discussing about policies and laws that are fictitious, that have been mismanaged, that have been made as controversial as possible, to create a phantom discussion in the country while this country is being raped, abused, and robbed every day, but we are not discussing that.
Okay.
I on my submissions.
Thank you so much.
Nataka kuambia dada yangu Zuena.
Anakusikia.
You are not supporting BBI. You are supporting a criminal enterprise that is robbing this country of its well-being, that our children have no possible future. People are dying consistently. No medical care. Everything is broken. So you're not supporting a policy for the youth. Stop lying to yourself, my sister Zuena. You're supporting a criminal enterprise, and you need to repent, tukuwekelee mikono, tukubatize kwa maji, ndio uweze kuingia mbinguni.
Kadusa. Asante. Bunga la mwananchi. Bunga la mwananchi. Jambo.
Bwana Bitoka, habari wewe?
Salama sana mkubwa, habari ya Diaspora. New Jersey.
Nzuri kabisa. Mimi kwanza ningependa kurudishia shukrani sana kwa kunipa nafasi.
Karibu sana ndugu yangu.
Zaidi hiyo kukupia kurudishia shukrani kwa kazi nzuri unafanya.
Asante sana ndugu.
Unapea wananchi wa Kenya nafasi ya kujieleza na kutoa pressure ambayo wako naye.
Wa Kenya wako na pressure.
Pili ningependa kuna pressure na nitafika hapo baadaye. So kitu kingine nasema ni kwamba huyo dada ambaye ana support ama nini ni haki yake. Afanye tu vile anaona vizuri kama mwananchi mwingine wote. Opinion yake ni opinion yake na endelea hivyo hivyo. Kitu kingine nilikuwa nikitaka kusema, watu wamekuwa na pressure sana ya kusema Japan. But mimi kama unajua nilisoma KMTC. KMTC kulikuwa na program ya JICA na mimi ni direct beneficiary wa some of those programs. So kwa vile watu wanapata pressure saizi sijui nini unajua kitu yenye napenda kwanza kusema ni kwamba we have a lot of freedom, Bwana Gerald.
Yes sir.
And some of this freedom should be controlled a little bit, kwa sababu tusiwe tunapata fursa kubwa sana na tuko na pressure and then tuna misdirect our anger kuelekea upande tofauti. Kwa sababu kama sasa sisi saizi tunalia Japan, na ile wakati wao walitoa pesa zao kusaidia programs nyingi sana, irrigation, everything, education, health, JICA, hakuna mtu alikuwa anapiga kelele. Kwa hivyo kama saizi wamepata nafasi ya kusema hivyo, wa Kenya tukue waaminifu na tuzikuwe tunalemea hawa sana. Tuwapatie tu nafasi, kwa sababu pengine serikali inajua kitu ambayo hatujui. You know?
Na hiyo ndio kitu tunaomba kujua. Hiyo kitu hatujui ndio tunataka kujua.
Tujua kitu yenye tunaomba kujua tena ni kwamba walitusaidia. Wewe tu iko. Hiyo ingine wanasema tadeko hivi.
Nisiulize sana.
Unasikia from a direct beneficiary.
Wanasema ukitaka kumla bata usimchunguze.
Kwa sababu kweli kabisa mimi nikikwambia Gerald, kama mimi nilifundishwa kuwa laboratory technology. Na ni equipment zao nilitumia. Nikakuwa very good. Kwa sababu ya vitu walifanya. Tusipige hawa sana. Hawa ni watu wako na morality na wanafanya vitu vizuri. Tuendelee tu hivyo. So wao tukijaribu kutoa hii siasa ingine mingi, kitu yenye tu tunasema ni kwamba serikali nchi iko na shida inaendelea, lakini kitu mimi naomba tu Uhuru Kenyatta, rais ambaye tunapenda sana, akimaliza mkondo wake, jaribu kutengeneza institute zile zitaangalia the shida ambayo iko kwa Kenya. Tutoe mambo ya siasa kwa hii maneno, ikuwe tuna deal na issue. Kama ni agriculture, kuko na institutions ambayo zina deal na mambo ya agriculture bila kukuwa na siasa. Kama ni health, tujaribu. Kama ni corruption, tujaribu kuangalia, kwa sababu Gerald, kweli tukiangalia ukweli, hii nchi watu wengi sana wamepoteza maisha, watu wengi wamesacrifice, ndio hii nchi ikakuwa mahali imefika. Tukiangalia tatua very simple thing, mahali tulitoka, budget ambayo tulikuwa tunafanya wakati wa Chepkeres kitambo na saizi tunafanya, tumetoka mbali. Kwa hivyo tuangalie tu kitu anaweza kufanya, ajaribu kutone down hii pressure ya kila kitu. Huyu ako na nguvu kuliko hii, na asikubali wale watu ambao wako kwa ballot waanze kukoroga nchi. Kwa sababu yeye alipewa nafasi na wananchi, awache kuweka hii cartel lingine ambayo ni kabala. Naongea na kusema vile wanataka kuita kila mtu mkutano, kwa kuja wajielezee sijui kuvuta huyu no, that's not right. Let him know that watu ambao walisimama naye wakaweka yeye kwa hiyo nafasi bado wanampenda na wanatarajia kweli kabisa. Angalie mahali penye tumeenda makosa, asimame aseme nitarudi mahali tulikuwa wakati tulikuwa tunasema ni maombi sio uchawi. Ni nini ilifanyika tukakosana?
Ni wapi uchawi iliingilia?
Hii nchi watu wengi kabisa. Ni hayo tunasema.
Asante sana ndugu yangu. Mambo ya jambo Arama. Arama, umesikia mwenzako ani Jesse?
Huyo mjamaa ni Jazi anafaa kuja kwa hii mkutano wetu alafu ndio tumuone. But Gerald, I want to correct something here very quickly. We are not opposing Japan for getting tax breaks. What I was saying is our priorities are misplaced.
Okay.
Kenyans have pressing issues that needs to be addressed.
Okay.
People have challenges that needs to be addressed. We are not addressing the issue of the ARVs that are stuck in the port. We are not addressing the issue of COVID other than the gentleman who announces numbers kila siku ni kama mtu ya matatu anatangaza matatu za kwenda namba fulani. That's what we are saying.
Utarudi Kenya kweli ukiendelea hivi.
Yeah, to complain ati Japan wamepata tax break. It's okay. But at the same time, you cannot give tax breaks including salaries of employees. That is a little bit too far. Okay. Investment tax breaks, fine. That we understand. But going to the extent back employees, they don't pay taxes when they utilize our facilities, our amenities, and the infrastructure na kila kitu, they need to contribute to that too. So that is my concern is how fast these so-called tax breaks was passed in Parliament compared to the issues that Kenyans are facing that have not even been mentioned anywhere in Parliament.
Okay.
Not even one time. I think that is where we are having a disconnect. Give a tax break, 5. But at the same time, kama mwingine amesema, usipatia wa tax break alafu sisi our own investors ambao wanalipa triple or double the taxes for almost having the same services. And you are not forgetting that also our local investors, on top of that, lazima walipe bribery. So they have so many hurdles to overcome. Even the international people still have the same hurdles, but at least how wamepatia some favorability. Let's do the same thing for our people. It may not be at the same level, but let's give them an environment where I can come if I'm the one investing. I have a chance to do the investment. If I have a business, I have a grace period where I don't have to pay taxes until my business picks up. Then I start paying taxes. Hiyo ndio vitu tunajaribu kuchampion. Not saying that we are castigating against the Japanese people. They are, like somebody said, they are one of the most moral, upright countries, partners in the world. Okay. I studied management and organization in one of my classes, and one of the things that I respect is the Japanese culture of style of management. President wa company hajifichi kwa ofisi. Yeye ndio wa kwanza kwa mlango. Ukiingia kwa mlango si unapatana na secretary, unapatana na president wa company, ndiye ameweka meza yake iko hapa na kiti yake. Hiyo ndio mtu wa kwanza unapata. And I love that style, and I've studied that style, and I like that is the way we should approach things. But at the same time, can we make it fair for everybody? Can our country first, our citizens first. We need to mind and care about our citizens. If we are not doing that, hata tukijaribu kufanyia our partners, our investors from outside better, at the end of the day, if we are not taking care of our country, it doesn't help anybody. Yeah, it doesn't help anybody at the end of the day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, asante sana Jela Rama, chama Diaspora. Ndicho tunaja tuende masokoni, alafu tukirudi naona mgeni wetu sasa ameingia katika kipindi cha lala salama, Susan Muratha. Watu wa Kangemi watakumaliza. Anyway, Maridadi Motors nakupa nafasi ya kuweza kuingiza gari yako na bei swafi zaidi. Maridadi Motors give you an opportunity to import your vehicle from wherever you want to import it, being Japan. Now Japan will be able to import now. Get a Japanese to import a car for you. It will be tax free. Now, lakini wewe usiimport mwenyewe, utafuta Yakamoto. Hata ZUENA tumemwita Yakafai. You get to import a vehicle from Maridadi Motors, you get to save to 300,000 Kenyan shillings. You can get such a deal anywhere else when you import with Maridadi Motors. Direct importation of Singapore, Japan, America, Australia, wherever you want to import your vehicle from, as long as it aligns with Kenya's traffic rules. Unajua kuna countries zingine ambazo driving ni left, kwa hivyo huwezi toa gari pale. Huko Kenya tunaendesha na upande wa kulia. So Maridadi Motors give you an opportunity to import your vehicle directly, and you get to save up to 300,000 Kenyan shillings when you import with them. Also Maridadi Motors gives you an opportunity to invest. Kama uko na pesa, kama Harama najua ako pale Diaspora ameweka hela mahali kidogo, hataki kutumana nyasikia huko, yaambiwa tu ujenge bungalow, tunatumana pesa wajenge bungalow, unapata wanakutumianga picha ya jirani. Anyway, so Maridadi Motors nakupa nafasi ya kuweza kuwekeza hela zako ambazo uko nao pale. Kama ni akiba, you can invest your money and get one up to 15% interest on income per annum. 15% per annum you get one when you invest in import to sell model by Maridadi Motors, ambayo inakupa nafasi ya kuweza kuinvest pesa zako ambazo uko nazo. Pia Maridadi Motors yako inakupa nafasi ya kuweza kuweka akiba. If you want to save, please save with Maridadi Motors. Na pia wakati utahitaji gari, if you need a car and the value of that car is 1 million Kenyan shillings, you get to save up to 50%, which is 500,000 Kenyan shillings. Maridadi Motors inakuletea gari. Maridadi Motors sako inaweza kufinance uweze kuletewa gari na Maridadi Motors, alafu hilo nyingine 50% ama 50% ambayo iko juu unaweza kulipa ukiendesha gari barabarani. Kuna Zigo pia. Zigo you ask you deliver. Pale watu wa Zigo delivery unaweza kufanya delivery pale hapa Nairobi. Very affordable rates and very reliable delivery services by Zigo. Alafu pia nimwambia kule watu wa Swift Airtime wanakupa nafasi ya kuweza kuload airtime yako kutumia Baybill number. Kimbia pale Baybill, weka business number 325325, alafu your account number is a business number. Your namba yako ya simu ndio account number ambayo unaweka pale, alafu unapata airtime yako haraka upesi. And the most beautiful thing is that you can even buy airtime if you have Fuliza. Kama una balance na uko na Fuliza, you can buy airtime through that. Haya ni mambo ya masokoni. Kama pia unataka kuadvertise, tafadhali tupa message pale kwa inbox, alafu tunakupea zetu haraka upesi, tunakujenga. Haya, Susan Muratha. Sijui tukuchape ama tukufanyie nini, ama
sijui ni viboko ndatandikwa.
Ni nini sasa? Unalala ni? Nini Susan?
Nimepotea. Si unajua mimi nimetoka ghetto.
Watu wa ghetto ndio wanajua town.
On her defense hata mimi the first time nilipotea so.
Lakini ulipotea lakini ulifika mapema.
Nilifika in time because nimetoka Kiamburu. Lazima utoke mapema huko tunamkanga sijui.
Nimetoka Mugokabiro Road. Nimevuka huku Kabarnet. Tena nikarudi huko Mugokabiro. Isipokuwa ni venye wanipigia singejua na nakupigia ushiki simu.
Sasa unajua sasa unajua watu wa Kenya wanapenda ukiona kwa TV ndio wanapiga simu. Sasa ningeshinda ningechukuaje simu niongee na wewe. Hata ilikuwa kwa sat. Anyway, tuambie tafadhali nakupa nafasi ya kuweza kujintroduce kwa wananchi. Dakika zimebaki ni kidogo chini ya 20. Nakupa nafasi ya kuweza kujintroduce kwa wananchi alafu waambie pia wewe ni nani na unafanya nini na kwa nini uko hapa.
Mimi naitwa Susan KIHARA MURATHA. Msichana wa Kangemi. Mimi ni aspirant wa Kangemi Central Ward.
Okay.
Nataka kuinua youths na wamama. Kule ghetto tumesahaulika kabisa. Tumesahaulika, mashida ziko huko.
Nani mwasa? Najua tukisema tumesahaulika na shindako nani anasahau hata.
Kuna mashida huko, extreme poverty. Nataka kuinua wamama. Kuna vitu mingi sana huko mtaani. Gerald, nataka utembee kwetu Kangemi.
Nakuja.
Unaitwa Kangemi. Kangemi ni kubwa. Kuna wards 3. Kuna Kitisuru, kuna kuna
hata watu wa Kitisuru wako na shida.
Kitisuru
ama ndio wamewasahau nyinyi.
Kwa sasa hapa Kibagare, Kitisuru kuna slum inaitwa Kibagare.
Ni kama Lower Karen na Upper Karen hapa.
Yeah. Huko ndio mashida zimesimamia huko. Na tuko na Central Ward na tuko na Mountain View Ward.
Okay. Alright.
Sasa nataka kuinua wamama. Okay, tumekuwa na nominated MCA anaitwa Karoma Yunzu. Hakuna mama mwingine amepewa kitu huko kwetu. Sisi tu we are left out. Ni wanaume tu ndio wako huko ndio wanaongea.
So ni wanaume ndio mawasao nyinyi.
Sisi tumesaulika kabisa.
Ukisema wasaulika ni wanaume ndio mawasao.
Hapana. Hata wao wamejisahau but unaona wanajipata through even having.
Naona Dennis Ndubi hapa amesema Susan alikuwa na Mjapanese pale flyover. Kama maanza kula ushuru ya Wajapani. Haya sawa karibu. Unaonaje mambo ya by elections ambazo zimefanyika juzi?
By elections zilikuwa sawa, zilikuwa fair.
Okay.
Zilikuwa fair kabisa. Juja ilikuwa sawa. Bonchari, mama Kisiland ukiona mwanamke anapatiwa 6,000 votes ako mbele. Na Rorie Ward iko sawa, ilikuwa sawa.
Okay.
Lakini tutaki hiyo ati ama ni governor anaingilia. Anafaa kuwa mbali sana na hizo by election. Juu tuko na zingine, tuko na ya Kiamba na tuko na ya Mugoga. Na ni yeye tu governor wa huko. Aache kuingilia maneno za by election. Alionyesha picha mbaya sana.
Okay. Alionyesha picha mbaya
kabisa.
Sasa nataka kuambia nimesikia anaanza impeachment process imeanzishwa na MCS. I don't know how far-fetched that is.
I don't know but I'll agree with her that he should have acted better. Hata kama alikuwa ana feel frustrated na ana feel pressure as a governor when you hold such a high office. Si poa sana ukirekodiwa ukiwa na such behaviors. From normal wananchi expected as we are allowed to react all we want but from a governor he should have acted better. I hope it's a learning lesson for him because we are all human. And it was in the middle of a by election and as moving forward we hope in Kiamba and Mugoga that will not be
we are watching him.
Okay. All right, so wewe unatoka Kiambu?
Nataka
Kangemi. You come from Kiambu?
Kangemi iko Nairobi.
Iko Nairobi, yeah? So mambo ya Kiambu.
Westlands constituency.
Okay. So unafikiria ni wewe ni member ya Jubilee. Unafikiria shida iko wapi kwa Jubilee?
Mimi si member wa Jubilee.
Bado wewe ni member hujama.
Sijama.
Wilbaro hajapanda.
Umeandika ile barua? I want to nini? Kama umeandika barua.
Umeandika barua?
Nimeandika.
So what do you think is going on in Jubilee? Anyway, since ilikuwa nyumbani. You can never be far away from home and ifunjwe.
Hiyo chama iko na maneno mingi sana.
Kama gani?
First inaingilio na hawa wakubwa ndio wanaharibu hii chama.
Wakubwa ni nani?
Wakina should I name them?
Name them.
Akina Tuju, akina Murathe. Hao ma big fish sinaona wanaharibu hiyo chama. Na watu wengi watatoka hiyo chama. And sabai nao najua watu wengi wamesha resign. Mimi nikiwa mmoja wao. Waache ni Uhuru si mbaya. Uhuru tunampenda sana.
Mengia na kofia wale wamesimama. Uhuru si mbaya, ndio watu wamemzunguka.
Wale wanamuadvise ndio wanaharibu hiyo chama na wanaharibu Uhuru. Tunampenda sana.
Kwa nini libadilika ndio watu na advice? Ni wale tutujusi alikuwa mara ya kwanza, Muratha alikuwa. So nini imebadilika?
Hii mambo ya kushinda aki-expel watu, una-expel watu waje. Kama venye walifanya Isaac Maora. Wako wafaa kumfanyia hivyo.
Wangefanya aje? Unajua chama iko na sheria, Muratha. Unajua chama iko na sheria.
Okay, najua kila mahali kuna policy but
najua hata wheelbarrow ni mnaweza shukisha mtu akileta shida.
I believe Gerald, maybe if I can butt in, what is happening in our party is even as much as Akina Tuju and Murathe did exist with the president, because these are the president's people, there was leeway for everybody to breathe and thrive. There was leeway for young people to have a voice. There was leeway for women to have a voice. So what maybe we are experiencing now is a lot of this leeway that was there initially has been curtailed. And that is why now everybody is moving out and trying to find their own space.
So why are you not rising? Some of the young people like you.
But who says I'm not thriving?
Why are you not rising? Like, why are you not rising against the curtailing?
We are. And there are two ways to do that. You can do it outside the party, like what my dear friend here has done. She's left the party and is doing it in other parties. I'm assuming you're in UDA. Or you can decide to solve the issues that you have. I'm not saying it's a charity.
Why did you
or
assume
you can
she's
decide to seek guidance and to seek solutions from within the party, as I have decided to. I decided I love my party. I'm loyal to the party. I will stay within the party and try to navigate through the party and understand how, moving forward as a party, we can ensure that some of these issues we are experiencing are resolved. Until or when the president stands up and tells us, enyewe chama imekufa, tokeni, because he's my party leader and I'm loyal to him. So me, I have decided, wacha nikae kwa hii chama kama mbaya. It is a relationship I started. I am in a marriage with these people. So until then, when both parties tukae chini na tuseme enyewe sasa tuna divorce, ndio nitatoka.
Okay. Haya, mambo ya judiciary. The judiciary, the decision are made by judiciary, and she has argued. She said, they respect. Umasema you respect, but you don't agree, or you don't respect and you don't agree also.
What are you trying to quote me on?
I'm just asking. I've not quoted you. I'm just
asking on
your what are your views on the judiciary?
On the judiciary.
Yes, and
first, I want to congratulate the Parliament and be very happy that they approved Martha Koome as her Lady Chief Justice. So we are very happy on that front, and we know that moving forward, some of the issues that the judiciary have experienced, even with the appointment of the 40 judges, this is something I know she wants to take up front, and we are waiting to see what 100 days in that office are going to look like. And I respect that their concerns. They are raising very, very serious concerns. But I would prompt them to name names. You know, hii kitu ya create imaginary enemies and saying some high-level government officials are threatening. So you name them. Do you see what this young woman has done? She has named those people she wanted to name. So just calling a presser, you're all judges, and you're there just saying some high level. Who are these high level officials that you're talking about? Name names, because when you name names, you remove darkness and you remove all this evilness that you're trying to portray. So they should shed light to these high level officials that are threatening them and name these names. If they can't do that, then these people wako na agenda, wameamua tu, maybe there's something they want to push for, and they've just decided we'll just create an enemy and victimize ourselves and get sympathy and achieve what they want to achieve. So unless they name names, I believe they are wanatuchezea tu, wanacheza tu siasa, wanaacha kucheza siasa na judiciary.
Unafikiria, what are your thoughts, Susan Muratha?
Okay, first nilifurahi sana venye walichagua mama kuwa Chief Justice. Nilifurahi sana, lakini kuna mchezo inachezwa hapo, situelewi.
Kama gani sasa sana?
Mchezo mingi sana. Tunataka tusaidiwe pia, Uhuru atusaidie. Pia Attorney General KIHARA aache pia kuingilia mambo ya judiciary. Ajitoe.
Okay. Aache kuingilia mambo ya judiciary. KIHARA, AG waje kuingilia mambo ya judiciary. Lakini AG na judiciary hawezi enda mbali sana, kwa sababu yeye anasimamia mambo ya sheria ya serikali. Ama afanye kazi nao lakini asiingilie. Afanye kazi nao lakini asiingilie. Haya. Okay. Tuangalie magazeti. Alafu tukirudi ni kama ndio tutafunga kiosk. Okay, The Standard. Standard gazeti yenu ZUENA, it's not loading bwana. Okay, tuone People Daily.
Unanipeanga shares. kwa hizi gazeti.
Haya, People Daily. Niangalia hard copy hapa kwa sababu ni kama nyingine ni ngumu kidogo kupanda. Ama ni kama niko na shida ya nini mimi mwenyewe. Okay, People Day nasema full in tray as CJ Kome takes over. Appointment comes at a time when all eyes on the judiciary following last Thursday's High Court ruling which declared the law changing project under Building Bridges initiative unconstitutional. Why Jubilee lost in Bonchari and Juja? George Koimburi kwa hapo sababu George Koimburi People's Empowerment Party clean Julia parliamentary seat garnering 12,159 votes against Jubilee Susan Waititu Wakape with 5,746. ODM candidate Pavel Homeke won the Bonchari parliamentary seat, shrugging off stiff opposition from Jubilee Party and UDA flag bearers. By-elections, poor nomination strategy, high-handedness and succession politics, deal ruling party major blow in mini polls with rivals ODM and UDA bagging morale-boosting victories. Umesikia hapo maneno umesema nini Zuena? Umesema poor nomination strategy, high-handedness and succession politics. Ndio shida ya Jubilee.
Yeah, succession politics.
Raila Odinga hapa anasema what we have witnessed in the by-elections in Bonchari and Juja is an abuse of police powers and arrogant display of impunity. William Ruto anasema we thank God for Asla Nation victory in Juja and Rurie and also I'm sure in Bonchari a big congratulations. Joshua Kutuny ambaye ni vice chair ama ni vice SG, vice secretary general. Alichukua from Kositani. Okay, anasema we have witnessed the lengths that our opponents can go and we can assure you that we will deal with our shortcomings. And that's quite, I mean, that is that's coming from Jubilee is, I mean, they've accepted and for the first time, that's that manly. Like, yes. There are people who are fighting, of course. Wakape has refused to accept that she lost, but I'm seeing the party structure is accepting.
Yes.
That, yes.
And
lost.
that is progress, Bito.
Okay.
That is democracy.
It's progress. It's a progress in democracy. I was actually going to really dispute the Juja vote, but I think the president prevailed over them. Yes. Because at first, these guys were very aggressive against this. 95 students to miss help loans. Those who will be lucky to get cash will receive reduced amounts. Zuena! How many times have I called your name? Presidents to launch brand new Lamu Port. Leo Rais ana launch Lamu Port by the Hungary. That's quite a milestone. They're launching Lamu Port today. I mean, it's a great move. You know, hizi vitu hata zingine kama wanalambanga pesa, at least we'll show our children something. We'll show them at least kuna kaport kale launchiwanga siku fulani. Haya. 95,000 students to miss on loan. Help loan chief executive reveals budgetary cuts and dip in loan recoveries have affected cash flows. Kwa hivyo kama unaomba loan ya help ujua kwamba kwa matatani. Drug peddlers face ash penalties in amended law. And matwa hiyo ni gazeti ya The People Daily. Koma amechukua kiti, kwa hivyo ongera sana, congratulations Martha Kome. Tuende Daily Nation. Daily Nation sema Iroi girl rose a pregnant mother to hospital in the dead of the night. By the way, 13-year-old. 13-year-old rode the mother who was delivering to akamkimbiza hospitali and she was able to give birth safe. She was almost actually at a very dangerous because I understand the umbilical cord was very short, so it was affecting the child and the mother. So ongera sana msichana wa pale Kakamega, I think ni Kakamega, ambaye aliweza kupeleka mama yake mpaka hospitali akaweza kuzaa salama. Nimeona pia pale mambo ya help kwa 95,000 university students to miss help loans. Bad day for Uhuru in by elections, resounding defeat. President nilikuwa navyanga ni resounding victory, kumbe resounding pia inaweza tumia kwa defeat. Ama watu wanaitwa na kuna maneno. Resounding defeat. President Kenyatta's Jubilee Party is licking its wounds after losing to Raila Odinga's Orange Democratic Party movement in Bonchari and little known People's Empowerment Party PEP in his political backyard of Juja. The PEP is linked to an ally of the Deputy President William Ruto. The story is on page 4. Troubled handshake. Raila accuses government functionaries of abusing police powers in Kisii. Okay. Full in tray awaits CJ Kome. Interesting that I've used the same header. Full awaits new CJ Kome. Appointing a bench to hear the BBI appeal is one of full basket of challenges and expectations awaiting Chief Justice Designate Martha Kome. President Kenyatta, in a special notice of the Kenyan Gazette released yesterday afternoon, appointed Justice Kome hours after the National Assembly adopted the report of its Justice and Legal Affairs Committee. The story is on page 6. If you want to read it. Health crisis. Kisumu hospitals filled up as COVID-19 infection surge. The isolation centers at the Jaramogi Oginga Odinga Teaching and Referral Hospital, the largest referral facility in the region, is already full and is relying on amenities of lower health facilities. Crazy in Kisumu. Nikubaya, COVID, please stay safe. Unfair trade. How brokers drove cashew nut farmers into abject poverty. When the factory machines died 31 years ago, so did the hopes of hundreds of farmers along the coastal belt who directly depended on it. Haya, mambo ya kashina kama mikorosho pale. Okay. Naona pia depression, now love and care pulled me back from the dark hole. In mambo mengine, girl 12, actually the girl is 12, rode pregnant matter across the lake to hospital at 3 a.m. Pongezi sana. Tuangalie gazeti ya Standard nasemaje headline. Uhuru Raila fury as Ruto celebrates. Backlash after major legal and electoral setbacks. President reads the Riot Act to close allies for bungling polls as Raila warns that the handshake is not a cover of impunity by state operatives. Okay? Kumbe, you were right. I think the president prevailed on some of the Jubilee members. Okay? So that's interesting to see. Sting and puzzle of Night Gazette notices. Okay, is the government printer just damn efficient or is it being abused? MPs are now questioning the clinical efficiency of this institution that has consistently churned out notices sealing the fate of impeached governors even before the ink dries when the Senate Speaker's declaration notice. The latest being Wajias. Okay, special report. Bright future awaits electric cars in Kenya. The future of motor vehicle industry is in electric cars, at least before flying cars take over. And with major economies such as the United Kingdom already in the race to get rid of petrol and diesel-powered cars by 2030 over pollution, Kenya has been left without much option and we will have to quickly wake up to the new reality. Okay? Mambo tunakuja nasema kutakuwa na gari ya kutumia sitima, alafu pia gari ya kufanya nini? Gari ya kupepea, ya kufly. ZUENA will be flying from Kiambu Road. Yes. Landing here. Style. No traffic jams. Then sijui barabara tazipeleka wapi. Anyway, hayo ndio mambo kwenye gazeti. Sijui kama kuna kitu yote kwa gazeti you want to comment on?
Maybe just mention that I feel we've talked about a lot of things. Maybe I should be the bearer.
Oh, nimesahau ya nini? Ya Taifa Leo inasema wamfanya nini? Taifa Leo inasemaje? Taifa Leo inasema wamchomea rais picha. Wameweka hapo Kimunya, wameweka Nyoro, wameweka Kimemia na wameweka Rafael Tuju na Muratha. Muratha was in Mombasa launching his resort. So tusiekelee Muratha mambo ya nini.
I think people we just like just putting his name there.
Ruta apenya nyumbani kwa Uhuru. Raila endeleza ushawishi. Viongozi wakosa kutoa mwelekeo wa kisiasa, hatimaye Koome adinishwa kama jaji mkuu. Haya. Take it up.
I'm happy that even amongst all these people being named to have embarrassed the president, there is no woman there. And this is an affirmation that women actually do follow due processes in everything, be it elections, be it mobilization of people to vote, and so forth. And to actually laud some of the people who in government who are doing very good things. My chair, of course, I have to mention her, Miss Lydia Madhia. The Biashara Kenya Fund was just given the okay by government, where anybody, you just have an ID, you don't need no business registration, and you can access credit from government. We had one of our own, Mr. Shadrach Maluki, who won the Africa Judo elections. He's a whole chairman.
Kenyans are winning.
Kenyans are winning. So there's some good things that good people are doing out
I wish the government were working like Kenyans.
And it's good to recognize such efforts, yeah. And I'm happy. Thank you for hosting us. So honored to be here.
Once again, karibu.
Once again, I want to say hi to Miss Waruguru Wakiai. Ametuma salamu.
Mwambie akuje Waruguru Wakiai. You need to come bwana. Anakuanga wapi Waruguru Wakiai?
Anakuanga Nyeri County.
Tafadhali akuje. Ako county.
But I give you my word, she will come next week.
When is she coming?
Nitamleta. Hata wewe nimwendee Nyeri nimlete.
Waruguru Wakiai, I'm summoning you to the tackle next week. You are summoned. You are hereby officially summoned.
I also want to say hi to Kate Chumo from Nakuru County, Faith Mwaneki, Esther Kamau.
Tena mwana Faith Mwaneki man.
Mafans wangu wa Nakuru na wasalimia sana. God bless you for always tuning in. Na ni mafans wako sana.
Nashukuru sana. Nakuru by the nilishangaa niko na mafans. Nilienda Oleke. Ukikasirika na niende niambia.
Wewe tuone delegation itakuwa hapo.
Nilikuwa Oleke, I was in Oleke and I met some really nice guys who are following the tackle. Really appreciate you. Kuna this lady. I think she's in the protocol of the speaker.
Anne Muithaga, I think.
Yes, Anne Muithaga. Yes. Nikapatana na jamaa mwingine, wajamaa wengi sana ndio wapata Nakuru ambao wanasema wanafuatanga tako. So Nakuru we really appreciate. Thank you for the love. That's why unaona waletenga mchana wenu hapa kwa sababu ni mwana Nakuru mnanipenda. Kwa hivyo hata mimi I love you back.
Thank you.
Haya, Susan Muratha, umesikia magazeti? Anything you want to comment on the newspapers?
Sina mambo mingi. But next time ndarudi nikiwa fire, nikiwa more fire.
Karibu kuja next time kufika kwa wakati.
Nitafika kwa wakati, sitapotea. Na nimefurahi na big up akina Antonella Kakuko.
Oh, yes.
She invited me. She was the one who invented
yeah, she's a very good friend of mine and she did a very good job.
Nimeona wamama hamuna machama.
Hatunanga
Wamama ni wasichana.
Tunapigana kisiasa lakini kwa siri tunaongea.
Yeah, so you appreciating Antonella.
Yeah, she's a very good friend. I know what she was doing.
Sisi wa baba ndio tunapigana bila kisiasa.
Kwa mchana tulikuwa tunagongana. Juu mimi nilikuwa na support of course Susan Wakape because she's a woman, but I knew where Antonella was, but at night I would tell her, hey, kuna mahali mnafanya your campaign vizuri sana, so keep going, and we are happy that such young women are thriving in such upcoming parties like PEP. Yes.
Hallelujah.
And all the best as you vie, all the best. Tutakuja tukusupport.
Kuja uko ghetto.
Tutatembea. Tulete kura.
Na ulete hiyo chama. Unajua Nairobi si atunanga hiyo chama. Inaitagwaje? Wale ladies wa
Mount Kenya. Daughters of the mountain. Tutakuja na tukupigie
tutengeneza yetu. Daughters of Nairobi.
By the way kuna Daughters of Nairobi, I'll link you. Tuko na hiyo branch. Na tutakuja.
Lakini Zuena ni Daughters of the mountain, kwani hujafika kwa mlima?
Sinujua mi am born raised
in Nairobi. So we have our branch for Daughters of Nairobi.
Nairobi tumesaulika sana.
Nairobi is a whole level of itself. Hata uwezi eka all these tribes. So you just call them Daughters of Nairobi because they have their own identity under Nairobi. Yeah, so she falls under Daughters of Nairobi, but she's a daughter of the mountain. Yes.
Okay. Hata mimi ndaanzisha Daughters of Rift Valley.
Kuna Daughters of the Valley. Led by a very nice lady called Linda Salbei from Kericho County. Yes, Linda Salbei ndio anafanya hiyo maneno ya Daughters of the Valley. Akona wasichana wake wa Bomet, wa Nandi. So they are doing amazing things. We are launching these things soon, Bitok, and we'll invite you because you're a very good friend of Daughters.
You invite me as an amicus cry of the Daughters. Amicus of the Daughters. Yes, Joel. Atu America jambo. Karibu tunafunga kiosk.
Bwana Gerald. Kwanza wacha nikaribishe Madam Susan and I wish her all the best.
Thank you.
Kupotea ndio kujua njia, wanasema kupotea ndio kujua njia. So we look forward to engaging again another time. Hii tako ni kali sana, ukikuja hapa unakuja huko ready sana.
Kabisa.
They are very tough guys here. They don't take any hostages. They will skin you alive, but in a good way.
Zuena.
So
the lady in red.
Anyway, Gerard, tukirudi kwa magazeti, first of all, congratulations to Lady Justice Martha Koome. These are people that growing up, I knew them with all their championing of women rights and all that, FIDA na mambo ingine. So it's an achievement also, as a country, that we have elevated a lady to that higher position. And I hope she does she does better than her predecessor, build upon what they have done and make it even better. And make justice so that people start believing in judiciary and continue having confidence in the judiciary. So she has a tough road ahead, but I think she should be able to do it. So I have no qualms about that. Tukikuja hii mambo ingine, nataka tu kuuliza Zuena na mwenzake. Sasa unajua huwa anasema even when the king is naked, people who are covering him hawataki kumwambia, lakini king kwani asikii hata hii kabaridi kakimchapa kidogo ajue is naked.
Lakini si ndio unaona hata ameleta calmness kwa chama, watu wameaccept.
Hata usikia hata kabaridi kwa mgongo.
Kabaridi kana mchapa hivi anajua ni kubaya, wacha nitafute kashati ama kanzu nivae ndio nizuie baridi. But Gerald, going back to the same thing,
yes.
Jamini, if we are going to build parties that are going to be formidable, it should not be about one person. It should be about the philosophy of the party and what it can do for the country. If we move away from personalities or, fall almost to a level of a god in a party, then we'll be in a better position. Na hii mambo ya kutengeneza offshoots here and there, they will die, because then you can have main parties that people join, you espouse your policies, you support the policies of the party, which is also good for the country. The other persons have their own policies. You come together, you compete, and what wanachagua, just like what we do here, we have the main parties, Democratic and Republican. Now what wanachangiwa all the time, but at the end of the day, you make the country better. Tukifikia hapo, Gerald, will be a step ahead. And one of the things that I think maybe Puguza Mzigo and the other guys, a couple of things that we need actually to seriously consider on a referendum is, to me, I strongly believe we should enshrine the budget for the judiciary in the constitution. There should be modalities. Hii mambo ya watu kusema ati unaona kama mwingine alikuwa wanaambia Koome ati hatutaki mambo ya judiciary mnatudharau ati you have to respect us. It's not an issue of respect. So if I don't respect you, sasa Gerald kama naenda town unakuwa unanipea fare alafu unaniambia nitakupea 50 hiyo nyingine kanyaga mguu. It doesn't work that way. I have a job to do, give me the money that I need to do my job. So if we enshrine it in the constitution, then it will be better. The police, hii mambo ya polisi kutumika kama personal bakora ya mtu whenever they want, they send the police to go and beat you. And sometimes, to be fair, I don't want to blame the president. Sometimes it's because the structure is so corrupt and convoluted. Unakuta anybody can command the police to do anything. Just because ni MP, just because ni Secretary General wa party, everybody wants to instruct the police what to do. Remember during the last general election, huyu mama mwenye alipiga mjamaa kofi, returning officer in Central Kenya, and she never went to jail. That was an assault. But the police were standing there and they witnessed, but they never arrested her. So we need to move to where the police is actually independent, completely independent. Gerald, in this country, apart from the president of the country, who cannot be taken to court while he's in office, everybody else, Gerald, hata uwe nani, uwe MP, uwe governor, we have so many governors, you'll be arrested by the same police wenye wanakuchunga. Wanakwambia tu, Mr. Governor or Madam Governor, you are under arrest. Na unapelekwa jela. So we need to get to that level whereby people will have confidence with our police because they are not being used as a tool to score political points. Hii mambo ya kwenda kukimbiza kina Wetangula wanakutana alafu naanza kukimbiza na tear gas. It's not right. Okay. So that's where we need to move our country. And everything else, somebody said very well, respect the rule of law.
Okay.
When we get to a level we respect the rule of law, everybody will be in a much better place.
Okay.
Yeah.
Asante sana. Thank you so much watu Diaspora. Nashukuru sana. Kina Masile wameamua kulala lakini bado Mungu ni mwema. Haya. Asante sana also again, asante sana ladies for coming in. Really appreciate. Asante sana Zuena for coming in on time hata kuliko mimi. Kupata hapa. Asante sana Susan for coming next time. I hope you will keep time. Nasalimia watu wa Kangemi. The tacklers who have been with us, we really appreciate you. Arama, asante sana chairman for holding it up in Diaspora. Really appreciate you. Guys who have called in from Diaspora, jamaa wangu watu Mbugwa, I think. Asante sana kwa kuja. All the callers who have called in this morning on the State of the Nation and also on Bunge la Mwananchi, we really appreciate you. Thank you so much for contributing. We're doing a pleasure having you. Also, those guys who have been watching, the tacklers who have been online all this time, nashukuru sana kuwaona. Wacha tufunge na masoko. Maridadi Motors zinakupa nafasi ya kuweza kuleta ama kuagiza gari lako, to import the vehicle, direct imports from wherever you want to get it from, whether it's in Japan, Dubai ama Singapore. Unaweza kusave pesa. You can save up to 300,000 Kenya shillings when you import directly Maridadi Motors. It also gives you an opportunity to save your money through Maridadi Motors Sacco, where you can also access a car loan by saving 50%. Okay, tafadhali ni mute Rama pale. Please mute Rama for me. Okay. Haya, nasema pale watu wa Maridadi Motors Sacco unakupa nafasi ya kuweza kuweka akiba, and you can also you can access a car loan when you save 50% of the value of the car. Alafu unaletewa gari lenye nyingine unaweza kulipa tayari ukiwa na gari. Alafu pia Maridadi Motors inakupa nafasi ya kuweza kuinvest on the import to sell model. Unapata nafasi ya kuweza kuwekeza hela zako, and you can get up to 15% profit when you import with Maridadi, when you invest with Maridadi Motors direct to import, import to sell model. Alafu pia watu wa Mungaro kena D-Square Eldoret ambao wanachapa, unajua suti ni watu wa D-Square Eldoret wanakupa nafasi ya kuweza kuchapa luku safi. Unaweza kufuata kama unataka uko pale Eldoret ama uko Nairobi pia. Very soon we are coming to Nairobi. We're going to have a branch in Nairobi by D-Square. So if you want to look the way I look like, if you want to get a nice suit, a nice fitting suit and blazers, ama unataka kitenge, you want to go the African way and get some kitenge, please talk to D-Square. Wako pale Ketia building pale Eldoret, Ketia building 3rd floor. Nakimbia pale kupata dandano. Ukifika pale tafadhali sema umetumwa na General Bitok, unaweza kupata discount yako. Kuna jamaa juzi alitoka Lamu, ametoka Lamu all the way from Lamu akaenda Eldoret kununua suti kwa sababu ametumwa na mimi. Asante sana. Hao ni mafans wanoma sana. Kuna makaza, hey ladies official, Mungaro safi sana please. So nitakupa nafasi, nitakupa namba ya D-Square. wapigie simu kushone suti kabisa maridadi. Ndio siku ya swearing in ya BBI. Huko umevaa sharp suit. Aya, watu wa disco Eldoret wanapata nafasi ya kuweza kupata luku safi kwa bei nafuu. They're very affordable, but they do very quality job. Like I made an order yesterday. All outfit African, they already done. Na mimi wanamaliza longi, wanatuma leo. So Friday, kesho. Kesho niko na luku safi sana ya African. Tomorrow hizo nitakuwa nimevaa kama
I'll make an order this week because next week is my birthday.
Wow, amazing.
And then I'll drop.
So Dandan, I know Dandan is watching. So you're going to give ZUENA a birthday discount courtesy of the taco.
Thank you.
You're going to give a birthday discount courtesy of the taco. Alafu chukua measurements haraka upesi, atakutumia format, uchukua measurements, unamtumia measurements, nguo yako inafika ikiwa ina fit kabisa. Haya, watu wa Swift Airtime pia unaweza kuweka airtime ukitumia Baybill. Enda pale kwa Baybill, enda kwa business number 325325. Wakikuuliza account number ni nambari yako ya simu. Kama ni kama yako ya studio, kama yangu ya studio, unaweka pale 325325 kwa business number, alafu account number unaweka 7798010. Nambari yako ya simu ndio account number yako ya simu. Alafu Zigo wanakupea delivery services in Nairobi. You ask the deliver. Wale Zigo wanachapa kazi haraka upesi sana. Kidogo ukiitisha kitu pale town. Unajua siku hizi watu wapendi CBD. Mimi sikanyagi CBD.
Kwa nini?
Hivyo. Sipendi CBD. Lakini nataka vitu kutoka CBD.
Hata mimi.
So kama unataka kununua kitu CBD, unapigia simu watu wa Zigo, alafu wanakuchukulia delivery, wanakuletea mahali ulipo. Kwa bei nafuu zaidi. Very nice rates. Very nice. Watu wa Zigo. Wewe hujui watu wa Zigo. Wewe unasikia.
Nitajaribu by the way, hata mimi sipendi CBD.
Jaribu Zigo, na sipendi CBD kabisa. Wewe unaweza kupata delivery lako na Zigo. It's been a pleasure having you guys. This has been the Tackle Diaspora Edition. Say that the Nation Diaspora Edition. We really appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. Until tomorrow on Sheria Wiki, I want to wish you a very blessed day. Take care and see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Signing out.